instance, I would like to know for each part of the country, or rather we should like to know, because I am incapable of knowing all of it, we should like to know what are the traditions of medicine, what are the traditions of education, what are the traditions of governance which have existed in different parts of the country. For instance, Khasi family law works in a completely different way from how family law would be in Rajasthan. Okay? But can Khasi family law actually be built upon, both for their area and be proposed in other areas? Why don't we learn from each other within the subcontinent when there is so much to learn?
We've been having this dialogue with Murugesh over the years, over the last weeks. And we have been seeing Murugesh talking about his caste and how they govern themselves. Actually, he's been talking about that. And even today, how much power they have. Actually, there is not been too much study into those systems of governance. And they are all village people. And they are governing a large group of people.
Sure.
But no real attempt has been made to understand that. Because again, I'll go back to, when you talk about these MBAs and others that we will import and we will use them because there is a lot of progress in governance. I'm not so sure that's very good. Because most of this is very Eurocentric. And the understanding of governance comes from a completely different paradigm. Whether that is good or not, I don't know. What it brings along with it, I don't know. And so I'm a little, I'm a little worried now. Because we've been trying to get all these young people to come in. They don't understand the local at all, and they will also trash what is there. The problem of not learning medicine, local medicine, the way local healing is done, is because constantly it has been trashed.
Yes.
It has been trashed by people like us. Just as much we trash local ideas of God, local ideas of spirituality as superstition. It still happens. We keep doing it. I have done it in my own way. So I wonder if getting the same thought process which has ruled us for so long, which has not allowed us to study how our people used to govern themselves, what they did, how they did, etc., to bring in there and then expect them to set up grassroots organizations that are people governed.
I think Bablu is pointing to is the risk, the very real risk, the very real and likely risk of actually importing a whole set of things through an innocent move in that direction. That is what I think.
It's not
intended.
It's not intended that way. I know, 37 years I worked. I know with what kind of mindset I came in. And how I saw the change happening within me. And it did not happen because I read. It happened because I observed what was happening.
Correct.
And slowly that has come. But I have not gotten rid of it all. I have not fully understood how people are doing it because I still have my Eurocentric way of looking at things. And I have not. Truly I have not. But I know that somewhere the way I used to think earlier and the way I think now has changed. And what I used to trash earlier, I no longer trash. I try to see into that. What is it? And I feel that lot more has to be done. Lot more work has to be done in that. If we truly want to understand and respect, because you see, over all these years, with all this 200-300 years of domination, culturally, being bastardized, all the stuff that has happened, people in the villages have still retained quite a few of their things. They are not like Murugesh's, this caste has retained it. The Gaundars have retained it in Tamil Nadu. They have somehow caught hold of it and it is there. In whatever form, it is still struggling to hold on to it. How can we manage to try and understand that and give it a legitimacy and allow that to begin to voice itself? That's a challenge. I mean, I don't know how far and how good or whatever, but I also think that that's a huge challenge in front of us.
The voicing doesn't happen because it's a very local phenomena. With a very, the scale is very small, and all solutions one is thinking of is something that will, you know, what you call, work at a large scale. Whereas, and they can't find legitimacy because it doesn't have a translation in a, because the multitude, the multiplicity of this has to also be taken into account, and it's a very local phenomenon. I mean, it's only with the, like for example, Murgesh's or even my community's way of handling the panchayat is a very, very local phenomenon.
But when you see Mendeleka is a governance, of the local.
Actually, Mama wanted to go.
As far as I know, I don't know the whole story, but I know people like Mohan Bhai Hiralal is an outsider. Okay, but he's one person. In that whole thing, how many outsiders have been involved in creating that consciousness and then the governance that has come out of it? These are their ideas. Are they really their ideas? I don't know, because I have not really gone there. But from what all has been written, what is being said, because I heard a 2-hour long thing in TDH, they presented, this guy came and spoke about the history of the whole thing. From whatever I have understood is that all this, how to govern themselves and that thing, is something that has come from within. It's not come from outside. Now if it has, that means that in some pocket, in some part of the country, in some small little place, people still know how to govern themselves. That somehow somebody, and maybe I think Mohan Bhai has had a hand in this, I don't know, because he has, from going in from inside, working there for 30 years, he has done something to bring it out, maybe, or give it the legitimacy, maybe, I don't know. But if it is possible there, it should be possible elsewhere, that there must be that sense of governance, that sense of what the larger system is all about. Wisdom must be there, yeah.